Inside Uganda's judiciary, the wheels of destiny, CJ Emeritus Owiny Dollo speaks.
I was surprised and I said, is it on merit? He said, yes. He said, will I not be arm twisted? Then he said something which I've never forgotten, that it is the very opposite. It is because nobody can arm twist you that we are interested in you.
Because nobody can twist you, that's why we are interested in you. What does it take to rise from an ordinary lawyer to the Chief Justice of Uganda? Integrity, destiny, or sacrifice? In this exclusive judicial conversation, Chief Justice Emeritus Owiny Dollo opens up about his life from law practice, wartime peace talks, assassination threats, to leading Uganda's judiciary. This is not just a legal story. It is the story he calls the wheels of destiny. Calm, composed, authoritative, Justice Owiny Dollo joins the judicial service conversation as a retired Chief Justice, but with over 40 years inside Uganda's legal system as lawyer, judge, minister, mediator, and national leader. Few Ugandans have served in all arms of government, parliament, executive, and judiciary at the highest levels. His legal mind shaped landmark rulings, including decisions on military courts and constitutional legality. Discipline defines him: no alcohol, no smoking, loyal friendships, strong family life, traits that many say shaped this judicial temperament, calm, firm, and principled. Away from courtrooms and constitutional benches, who really is Owiny Dollo?
I'm a family man, a loyal friend. Anybody who has had the fortune of being my friend knows I'm a loyal friend. I do not drink alcohol. I've never drunk alcohol. I do not smoke. I've never smoked.
His work in northern Uganda placed him in extreme danger. The Lord's Resistance Army issued a fatwa, an order for his assassination, reportedly demanding he be killed in a spectacular manner. Yet he refused relocation, choosing duty over fear. His escape from stress is music. Not modern pop, but actual traditional songs, Negro spirituals, and classical legends like Beethoven and Handel. For him, music is therapy, reflection, and emotional refuge after long judicial battles. One thing I can say, he loves Na music, like the ones of Gwangalipa.
I like music, but what they play these days is not music. I'm talking about music.
Real music.
Yes. The things they call music these days.
Like what kind? Not a favorite song?
Of these days?
Yes.
I don't even know them. When I hear them, I tune my ears off.
Wow.
I like music. Apart from my traditional Acholi songs, the Negro spirituals are the ones. Yeah. Negro spirituals, you hardly hear them now. Now you hear only Amazing Grace. You don't hear about Swing Low. You don't hear about Good News, the Chariots Coming. You don't hear about the cotton fields of the south. Many Peter Goring, them bells. You've not had music. What you hear those days, these days, we sang, we entertained ourselves with real music. Then you come to the classics, Beethoven, Handel, those ones.
Interesting.
Yes. So that keeps me really happy with myself.
His legal journey began in the 1980s from private law firms to enrollment as an advocate of the High Court, practicing across magistrate courts and the High Court for over 2 decades. These years built the courtroom mastery that would later define his judicial authority.
I finished Law Center mid-1984. That's a long time ago.
Yep.
I'm beginning to think you are not yet born.
Was it?
But I was given a job in a private law firm. There was a powerful lawyer from my sub-region called Obol Ochola. He lectured at Makerere University one time. Identified me and gave me a job. So after finishing, I went home to rest a little bit, and then September the 1st, we got employed with the well-known lawyer now in town, Tibejoka Atenyi. We got employed at the same time. Then May 23rd, 1985, I was enrolled as an advocate of the High Court. Practiced in the magistrate's court 9 months, I think that was the rule. I don't know now. Then I hit the High Court. I think that was now 86. I hit the High Court and practiced 23 years.
But law alone did not satisfy him. He pursued a master's degree in conflict resolution in the United Kingdom, focusing his research on northern Uganda's armed conflict. His central question: should a nation pursue justice or peace? When the two collide,
the passion to practice law in courts are now dissipated. So I went and did conflict resolution as a second degree, a master's degree in Bradford. Bradford is a renowned university in the United Kingdom for conflict resolution. And my dissertation there was on the northern Uganda armed conflict. The conflict between law, justice, and peace. Which way? Should we pursue justice? Should we pursue peace? If you focus on one, you have to sacrifice the other to some extent, if not entirely. I wrote a piece where I was given a distinction in my dissertation.
he became an independent advisor in the mediation process, helping shape one of the most significant peace negotiations in the region's history.
That he had earlier on, when I'd been appointed Minister for Northern Uganda, issued a fatwa. You know what a fatwa is?
Yes.
Yes. That I should be killed, and I should be killed in a very spectacular manner. He didn't want me captured and taken to him, but my killing ought to be, I think that would involve not wasting bullets on me, cutting me to pieces. When the president heard this, he was concerned. He called me to Nakasero here and told me, say, we want you to know, should we relocate you to another portfolio? I said, but then when you remove me, somebody is going there. Why should somebody else die and not me? So I said, I'm staying.
In a dramatic twist, the same rebel leadership later invited him for dialogue in Garamba National Park, DRC, a 6-hour meeting that would later lead to his involvement in the historic Juba peace talks.
Within no time, the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army sent for me to visit him in the Garamba National Park in the DRC. The most interesting thing about this is that he had earlier on, when I'd been appointed Minister for Northern Uganda, issued a fatwa. You know what a fatwa is?
Yes.
Yes. That I should be killed, and I should be killed in a very spectacular manner. He didn't want me captured and taken to him, but my killing ought to be, I think that would involve not wasting bullets on me, cutting me to pieces. When the president had this, he was concerned. He called me to Nakasero here and told me, say, we want you to know, should we relocate you to another portfolio? I said, but then when you remove me, somebody is going there. Why should somebody else die and not me? So I said, I'm staying. Indeed, I stayed and finished my tenure. And so when he called me, it was surprising. But I went there. And what happened there is for another conversation, because it would take away the entire 1.5 hours we had. Then he nominated me to participate in the Juba peace process.
His appointment as High Court judge came with an unusual story. He had not even been interviewed. Senior judicial figures vouched for his competence based on years of courtroom excellence.
Justice Mayendo said, are you ready? I said, my lord, what am I supposed to be ready for? So he said, oh, Ralph Ochan did not tell you. I said, no, and in truth, he had not. I said, no, I have sent your name to the president, among others, 12 of you, and you should have been appointed, but you are not available. I've been looking for you, and I tasked Ralph Ochan to call every day until he gets you. If we fail, I was going to ask Ochan to go to Juba and get you. So now I asked, but my lord, I've not been interviewed. And I want people to know this. I've not been interviewed. He looked at me and said, where did you practice your law? Didn't you practice your law before me? I still remember how you used to give us fulfillment when you argued land matters. Those are his words. So I talked for you, and then he named 2 other people who talked in the Judicial Service Commission, who talked about me, those who had known me in politics, and he said, yes, so I sent you your name. My only problem now is that statute says they should remove your name because you're not available. Why they need you is your CV. The others, because they brought their CV now, your name is there, but your CV is not there. So in the end, I said yes. I gave him my CV, and May 2nd, 2008, I was appointed a judge of the High Court.
One statement defined his reputation inside the system. Nobody can twist you. Integrity was his currency of elevation.
Then he said something which I've never forgotten, that it is the very opposite. It is because nobody can twist you that we are interested.
From High Court to Deputy Chief Justice, and eventually applying for the top judicial office, Chief Justice of Uganda. One of only 2 jobs he ever formally applied for in his life.
Well, in the end, I became Deputy Chief Justice because at that time it was on nomination. We didn't apply, it was on nomination. Then having served as Deputy Chief Justice, I think it would have been very bad manners of me not applying for the top job. That one I applied. And in my lifetime, I've applied for only 2 jobs.
The first being?
To be elected as a representative, and then Chief Justice. All these things which you know I have got, I've never applied.
He calls his life story The Wheels of Destiny, a memoir he plans to write, detailing the unexpected turns that shaped his path.
That is why the title of my memoir is The Wheels of Destiny.
beginnings of destiny.
Yes.
His inspiration came early, a civics lesson on separation of powers. Watching a lawyer speak confidently for an hour without notes convinced him that law was his calling.
So the man talked about separation of powers, parliament, executive, judiciary, and he talked for over an hour without making reference to any book, any paper, just speaking from his head. So I said, lawyers are the most brilliant people on earth, and I must become a lawyer. That's how I became a lawyer. That somebody can, because our teachers would teach and there's a book, a reference book, but yes, somebody was speaking authoritatively for an hour or so. I said, this is the profession. So I decided to become a lawyer.
From village classrooms to international peace talks, from assassination threats to Chief Justice chambers, Owiny Dollo's journey reflects law, courage, discipline, and destiny. A reminder that leadership is not always planned. Sometimes it is forged by history itself.